you.
Well, thank you all for coming, and I wanted to thank Crypto Plaza, Jesus, even though they're not here, Jesus, Avi, and Juan for helping put this together. My name's Emily. I'm the head of global community for Waves platform, and um, and then Vlad is here. He's our developer, and he flew all the way here. It's like our main core developers are in Russia, and we have offices both in Russia and in Zug, Switzerland. So, anyone have any? We'll wait for the questions afterwards. But so, a little bit of background of Waves. So it's an open blockchain platform which is designed to be easy and for mass adoption. So what we're trying to do is provide smart and flexible tools and for just real world data, and so that you can just adopt our platform really quickly. Our platform was actually founded in 2016 by Sasha Ivanov, and to this day it's like 200 employees, but that's growing, and we have that should be a plus 900K active users on our exchange. This is just going to be really quick, so everyone kind of knows this already, so I'm not going to like concentrate on it, but just in case there was some new people here, I just wanted to cover myself. So we don't have to really, focus on this because we all know what, blockchain is. But what Waves actually can provide is scalability. It's like our platform is based on Waves NG, which is it's a customized platform on Scala. We use the least proof of stake algorithm. It's cost effective because whenever there's a transaction, it's like 0.003. So that's pretty much minimal transaction fees, while as in Ethereum, you have to always have, try to figure out what gas prices are, and if you don't really know that day, maybe it was higher or lower, and so you can't really create a budget for, if you're saying, like if you're a project manager and say, hey, give me a budget for this. On Ethereum, you really can't do that as well as with ours, because it's like you can say, okay, if we're expecting X amount of transactions, therefore it would cost at least this. So that's one of our strong points. And as for like a decentralized exchange, we have, it's like once your token is issued, you can actually start trading it on Waves. It's like you can do your token one-to-one to Waves. And then we also have gateways, token generations. If you want to actually create a token, it's within seconds. It's like you write whatever the name of your token would be, and afterwards it's up on our. It's like I think there's a few lag times on the thing. Yeah, and then we have browser extensions, and then also mobile apps. And then Vlad will tell you more about our smart contracts later, and I'd actually teach you how to kind of build one. We recently launched our Waves Enterprise, which is a private DLT solution, and this includes like modular cryptography, which gives whatever kind of security issues you have, you can actually customize it depending on what your needs are. And on this particular private DLT, we have two types of algorithms. We have proof of stake and proof of authority. Proof of stake is for a public network, and proof of authority ensures high speed in a private network. So the management tools are for users, giving permissions also, and for network participants. And then, of course, which is really important when we're dealing with a lot of data, is data privacy, which is encryption, data encryption, to ensure the data transfers between the network are secure. So this is what we currently have. Waves actually has a decentralized exchange currently. but we'll be launching a new exchange, which is a hybrid exchange. It has decentralized features and a little bit of centralized features, but more. And so the decentralized storage, which means you still own your seed and your private key, which you don't have to, you have that control. It's secure. There's transactions are irreversible, and the liquidity, you can actually stake we're going to eventually have stable coins too. So you can stake those stable coins and earn interest off them. And this is one of our projects that are currently is it in testnet, Neutrino? This is in testnet. Neutrino is a stable currency, which is collateralized by our Waves token. So you can actually have, some kind of stability, like a one-to-one Waves to Neutrino to USDT.
Yeah, it's always equal to USD.
Yeah, USD.
It's called stablecoin.
Yeah. USDT or?
No, USD. Sorry, I'm looking at something else. Yeah.
Is it the same mechanism than Maker?
It's also algorithmic stablecoin, but not the same. I will cover it more.
Yeah, he'll be more in, but I just wanted to touch a little bit of what's going on. Okay, so our so this is, how many of you have Telegram? Let her sit down first. You guys want, before he starts his thing, we're giving away some prizes. So, let's see. So if you guys, while we're waiting, if you can download this, I'm gonna ask you a question, and then I will check on my Telegram who answered, and then I'll give you a prize. So I have Vlad, Lisa, and Alex. Anyone else want to join? And before I.
I have to download Telegram.
Okay. Don't worry. Calm down. Just concentrate on these two things, and then I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay. 20 seconds.
So it's Waves DSP.
Which messenger are you using?
WhatsApp, which I
WhatsApp
know. No, I have Telegram in
components.
In my computer, and now I'm not receiving the Telegram code. So. Yeah, just get on with it because it's going to take me some time.
Okay. Well, maybe
Minus
you can
I'll answer in my head.
Wait, everyone's still doing it, so tell me when you guys are finished. So I'm going to tell you who just joined. Yeah? Okay. So I have one here.
I'm here.
Say hi in the Telegram if you're here, please,
Okay.
so we can.
Let's
So like, oh, come on. I'm trying to make excitement. Okay, so Manuel,
Hola.
Funciona.
Nuria, Sandro. Okay,
Alexandre.
perfect. I'm sorry. What was your name?
Sandra.
Hola.
Sandra, can you give a brief introduction of yourself?
Yes, I'm working in the finance sector, so I used to work in the FinTech company, and I am quite interested in this cryptocurrency. That's why I came here, because I'm interested in the FinTech industry,
Okay, perfect.
and especially in the cryptocurrency.
Oh, great. Thank
Yeah.
you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Where's it go? So you're, do you have Telegram?
No, I don't see it.
Okay. So if you want to download it, you can download Waves ESP, and then you can tell me what, we're going to do a quick question. So you want to try to do it, or do we wait for you? to ask?
Okay.
Okay. So anyone have any questions for me while we're waiting for him to?
Yeah, you said that you had like once a token is issued on Waves,
Yeah.
you have like a pairing on an exchange and it's paired with Waves or something.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
would be like.
How does that actually work? Because we're really interested in the STO space and offering more liquidity. And currently we're using Ethereum as a solution because we feel it has like the greatest community overall, but this is an interesting solution. How does the pairing of the token to Waves work? Is it that when I issue a token, more Waves, like the same amount of Waves tokens are issued? How does that work?
Can answer this
So the question is about liquidity, right?
Yeah.
I will show the process of issuing a token. It's
Okay.
really easy.
Yeah.
So just one button. Then you can create a pair on the centralized exchange,
Yeah.
and your users can start trading waves to your token, or not waves, something else. For example, Bitcoin to your token. So they create pair, so order. So I will buy one waves for one Bitcoin, and that's listed in the centralized exchange. And someone other can create an order like I want to sell for this price. This is how it works. We have many tools like token rating, where you can list your token, and this will make so new users know about your product, and they will also start trading. So that's how I will show the
Yeah,
exchange.
we'll go more in depth in it later.
So what about prices?
Oh wait, no, I have to ask the question first. Okay, so, put in the Telegram what this symbol means. Okay, so it's Binance, right? Okay, everyone knows that.
Do you have
And-
another question?
Yeah, no, but of course, but it's like I wanted to know why we're together. If anyone knows the latest news about this. And don't answer out loud, put it in the thing, and then that's how you're gonna get a t-shirt.
T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm giving a t-shirt, I'm generous today. And then later, there's gonna be a bag. And then after his workshop, you get a bag. Okay. No. Anyone else?
Basically, the answer is simple.
Same owner.
Simple.
No. No.
I'm waiting to test another one.
Okay, you can.
Partnership on my.
No?
Okay, anyone else? Maria, you want to take a guess? Just yes.
No.
Just.
If they have listed, please.
One, two, kind of.
Have you Googled?
Yeah, you on Google. See, you cheater. Anyone else? Oh, we wish. Okay. Anyways, Manuel, you got it. But then which, the most important is that which exchange, there's different countries finances in. Which one was, did the listing happen?
New Zealand.
China.
Okay, so second prize is a bracelet.
Not China, right? I think it's South Korea.
Singapore?
Okay, so Binance is in different countries, right? And this is special because Binance in this country listed that they're on Wix. Stop Googling.
Malta?
Huh?
Malta? Headquarters?
Where?
The US?
Malta? No.
Probably the US, I think. I'm gonna stop Googling.
US. You got it. US.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
cheating too much, I'll stop it.
Yeah, you Googled it again, huh, Manuel?
It's
Okay.
either North Korea or the US.
Yeah. So the hot news is on the, I think it was the 29th of October, Binance US listed us on their exchange, which is really big news because that means that we are not an STO and we can go more into the, into the US market with no problem. So, Manuel, what's your size?
L.
Okay.
Large.
But
I got a
later
t-shirt?
on, huh?
I got a
Yes, of
t-shirt?
course.
Oh, that's big. Great.
Okay. So later on, we'll take a picture with you. with the
Okay.
t-shirt. So yeah. So later, like, pay attention to the presentation because we have still more t-shirts here, and we have waste bags. So the thing is, you can either pick a bag or a t-shirt, and then we have the bonus bracelet. So, but anyways, at the moment, this was one. But during Vlad, we'll create another one, and if you're paying attention, we'll give away more stuff. Okay?
So pay attention.
Yeah. So pay attention. So okay, so I'm gonna introduce you to Vlad, which is our thing, and he will show you, pretty much give you an in-depth explanation about the technical side of our platform. And Vlad, thank you.
Thank you. Well, we have a lot of things to discover today. This is our schedule. My mission was to talk a bit about blockchain, Web 3.0, and also cover decentralized finances, the future of finances. So this is a plan. We start talking about blockchain, so we all will be at the one wave, understanding what's blockchain, why do we need it. Then I will give you an example how we can implement waves to a real business case with a coding. It will be very easy coding, but I just need to show you how easy is it. So then we will go to DeFi, the future of finances, decentralized finances, and also examples. And we'll finish with giving away t-shirts and taking a picture together. Okay, let me start. First of all, Web 3.0. Who has heard about this before? Web 3.0. Oh, okay. About web, yeah. So Web 3.0 is like the new generation of web. There was Web 1 at first, so when web was just invented. So there was in the year 1990, there was just like a basic HTML, emails, and nothing interesting. Static pages and static content. After that, Web 2.0, there was a Facebook and interactive content. Users started creating their own posts, their own content, but we still have a problem that this content, the user data, is not secure. It's stored by huge companies like Facebook, and it's stored not in a secure way. They can use your data whatever they want. And that's why we need Web 3.0, the fully decentralized web, the secure web, so the web where you can trust. And the main technology for this new generation of web is blockchain. So let's talk about blockchain, my favorite topic. Actually, IT structure, so IT world looks like this for the last 3 years. Everyone blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. If you add the word blockchain to the name of your company, it will cost twice more. We also have Crypto Plaza, Blockchain Plaza. Why? Actually, because of cryptocurrencies who appeared some years ago. And this is a mistake, but expensive mistake. So this is a total capitalization of all cryptocurrencies in the world right now. It's almost like how much money is spent in Portugal every year. So it's a huge huge count. The opinion is that blockchain is like a technology that will change the future. There are much money. I don't know people who understand what is it. This is a like opinion that typical abuelas. Abuela, right? My Spanish is not so good. But actually, blockchain is just a way of storing data. Nothing more beautiful than a way of storing data, but very cool way. That's why we all are here. Cool because it's immutable, anonymous, and transparent. It's a secure way of storing data. Let's discover how it works. I will do like this. So
Yeah,
see? Your data is stored on different computers called nodes. These computers can be located in different places, like all over the world. The main thing is that your data is stored decentralized way. How it's stored? In blocks. There is a first block called genesis block, and each minute or each 15 minutes in different blockchains, it's a different time, the new block is added. So each minute is a new block, then it's connected to the previous one, and so you have a chain of data blocks. What actually is located in this block? First of all, meta information about the previous block, about the, for example, timestamp, the node who mined it, and transactions. The main thing in blockchain is transaction that actually stores all of the data. In Base, we have many types of transactions for each event, because transaction is information that something happened. For example, I issued a token, I created a token, that's transaction. I send this token to someone. This is also a transaction, but another type. That's why I have different colors here. Like I create a token, I send a token. And blue, for example, is I just put some data to the blockchain, data transaction. In Base, we have different types of transactions. For example, exchange, transfer, issue. So different types, and 16 types at all. 16 types at all. Hello. This is actually how does transaction look like. Who knows what the type of data is it?
Yeah.
This is a typical JSON. It looks a little bit scary, but if we go deeper, it's just a simple information. So like this transaction is a transfer transaction. We get it from the number 4. Type 4 is a transfer transaction. Here is transaction ID. We have difficult IDs, not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's more difficult for security. We have information who sent it. We have a commission information. So if I want to send a transaction, I pay fee, pay commission to the blockchain. It's stored in this field. Then timestamp, the time when I send this transaction. It's printed in a Unix time, but it's almost the same as standard. Okay. Then proofs, my signature that I signed that I sent this transaction. Version, that's like meta information, recipient, who will get this transaction. Asset ID now means that I sent. Sorry.
What's the difference between sender and sender public key?
This will be the next slide. I've explained that there are accounts, and each account has an address and public key. So this is address and this is public key. I will cover it later. Thank you. Yes. This is information about which currency am I sending. I'm sending waves because it's now it's like a default one. Amount, how many waves, and height, it means which block will contain this transaction, number of block. This transaction are added to the data block and sent to the blockchain. About the question of how we can determine the account, the sender and recipient. Such things means addresses. In blockchain, in our blockchain, we have account-based model. It means that each user can create accounts using, for example, Wavekeeper, hold them, they use to send crypto, sign transactions, etc. So, and the public information about this account is public key and address. There are also private key and seed that can be used to get access to this account. So public key and address are almost the same, but address is easier to use. Seed or backup phrase is the same, can be used to restore the access to account, and private key is also used for this. I can demonstrate you how you can create an account if it's interesting.
So, excuse me.
Yes.
The same public key may have different addresses.
No, address is always one-to-one. I can show you how we can create an account. Here we have this is one of the ways. We have Racekeeper extension in Google Chrome.
This is similar to MetaMask.
It's almost similar, but it's more light. I will show you. So we have here different nets. In blockchain, we have different nets like mainnet and testnet. Testnet for testing, and mainnet means real currency, so you spend your real money for transferring assets. For example, testnet, I would like to create an account, create a new account, and the new address has been generated. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Is it okay? Okay. So just continue. Give a name. This name will be only useful for me to determine which account is it. Continue, and it's here. Well, why is it cool? Here is the address, and public key is the public information, and the most important is backup phrase. To get it, I need to insert my password one more time, and here it is. So I will put it here. This is a backup phrase called seed. Actually, this is like password. It's generated automatically, and for example, if I want to authorize with my account somewhere, I just insert this seed. If you lose this seed, you lose all of your money.
We are recording this.
This is why I chose testnet. This is why I chose
Just so you know.
Steal my money.
Like, we're gonna steal your money.
Thank you. Thank you for your attention. We are not only giving away t-shirts,
We're
but
giving
also
away all his waves.
Yeah.
Do you have integration with any hardware wallet?
Wallet? Yeah, exactly. We have wallet. It's like DApps.
Some ledger, Wix.
Ledger. Yeah, Ledger is one of the way, but here is a wallet or client. Yeah. I can sign in here. Yes. This is that.
It's interesting the Lombardy project. If you can tell that, explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, I will explain about that. Lombardy project. Yeah. So this is client where you can use your account to transfer something to exchange. I will show the exchange feature later, but now about the account. So here is my account. If I want to add new one, I just switch account, put the button add new account, and import this one to here using seed. Or I will show how easy seed is. You can just import account, seed OK, and input anything you need, just blah, 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 blah. And it's also a seed. You see, the new address is generated using this seed.
But don't make it so complicated that you're for sure not going to remember it, because imagine you saved it like this, and then you're like, oh, okay, and then afterwards you lose it, and that's how you lose all.
If you want to store a huge amount of a huge balance, you can, for example, write this to a paper and store, and this will be a really secure way.
But what was it? Here we have a company that is a digital custody company that is closed. But now what kind of custody companies can make you provide you custody for waves?
Custody, what do you mean under custody?
Custody, not Ledger.
Ledger? Exactly, we have ledgers.
There are other kind of custody services. But you work for
I'm not sure if we've started that yet in our thing, but for sure, like as we're going more into DeFi, those types
let
of.
it go, I don't know.
You can use your typical ledger to get access to the base.
Okay.
It's not a problem. Okay, let me continue with my presentation. with accounts, everything clear. You can create accounts and use them in client. We have seed and private key. Seed is basically 12 random words, or this is default 12, but you can insert as much as you want. And private key is the string. It looks ugly, so this is why we need seed. And from these two, you can generate both address and public key. Okay, finally we have this image. This is how blockchain works. We have chain of blocks, its transactions, and it's stored on different nodes all over the world. And now about the base platform. We are the blockchain ecosystem. So basically it's open blockchain platform and development toolset for decentralized applications. What does it mean? It means blockchain plus toolset. So we have our own blockchain and many tools that our team is working on. And it's called blockchain ecosystem. And the final goal of our platform is allow our users to create their own applications, decentralized applications, the applications that store data in our blockchain. Okay, so and why decentralized applications are cool? Because they are safe, anonymous, immutable, Web 3.0. All right. So node owners, developers, and users are free parties on our ecosystem. Let's talk about all of them. Node owners. Nowadays we have more than 300 nodes all over the world. So you can run your node. It's really simple. I will show you how it's doing later. The idea is that all of these people are getting commissions from transactions. Users, we have...
How's the profitability of one node? Can you explain a little bit the numbers, the economics?
Yeah, I will show it later, but for example, interest rate per year is 7%.
7%.
So yeah, if you invest $1,000 and run your node, you will get $70 plus in the end of the year. I will explain it later. So users, the mission of users is to send transactions, and there are more than 6 million transactions per month. This means they are transferring crypto and using the apps, because we have transactions called script invocations. It means that user sends transactions that I want to use this app. Developers are building different types of applications. Many of them are listed in DApps. There's like list of them, or some dApps, decentralized applications. I will show you some of these applications later. But the final goal of our community team is to achieve 100 dApps to the end of 2020. Right now there are about 30 dApps designed by the community members. So they are growing up. And for this we have Waves Labs that gives grants to the teams that have interesting ideas. If you have interesting ideas. Yes, we will try it later. And now more about the ecosystem and which tools do we have. So we have blockchain, our own blockchain that stores data, and interface to work with it. First of all, Wastekeeper, I've shown it to you, and client as well, it's almost the same. And then also very important tool is Explorer. Have you heard about Explorers in blockchain?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so to describe it easy, this is just a tool that shows you which transactions are sent to the blockchain right now. You can get the info about any transaction you want. So interface that is user-friendly, make everyone ready to understand blockchain and what's happening there. Then we have client libraries for developers. So if you're, for example, using Swift for developing iOS applications, I have a simple client library to implement blockchain to my application and make an app based on blockchain. We have client libraries for almost all of the popular programming languages like Python, Java, JavaScript, C#, anything you want. We have SDKs. Then we need in blockchain, to be transparent, and that's why we need smart contracts that provide the transparent logic. And we have specific language called RAI. That's a smart contract programming language. I will show it to you later. The killer feature is that it's non-Turing complete language. That means that you cannot build, for example, recursion in it, and that makes the complexity of the program predictable. And that's why we have fixed fees, not like Ethereum that has a gas, and you cannot say for sure how much you have to pay for transaction. Our transaction always have the same fee. Well, these are three main instruments, three main tools that allow developers to build the dApp. Just a screenshot, for example, this is ID, where you can create smart contracts using RAID. This is a SDK for JavaScript, where you can create transaction. Here's it basically. You see the type of transaction as always, information about payment, and then just sign and send it. This is client library, and now the example. Well, the example will be about certificates on blockchain. First of all, do you have any questions maybe about tools and waves? Everything clear?
About the format, there's some kind of way to have some kind of formal verification.
Formal verification.
Yes.
Now we're working on delay plus in our smart contracts. As I know, it's not done right. It's not done yet, but we're working. So, question like this, answer like this.
I have a question. I don't understand, why does a language that is non-Turing complete, what has it got to do with the price of the gas going up and down, or the price of the transaction?
So we don't have gas at all. Okay. The commission is always 0.005 waves. It means less than 1 cent. Okay. So, and it's fixed because the complexity is always predictable. So answer the question, why do we need it? Or?
No, the thing is, I don't understand, maybe it's because I'm not technical enough, how recursivity affects the price of the transaction.
Oh, okay. So if you build a script that has a recursion or cycle, for in while, so you cannot say how many iterations there will be.
Okay.
So for example, the for cycle, you cannot say that there will be just 10 steps, but so you can say how much power does computer need to run this program, right? And when we don't have such cycles and recursion, the complexity is always predictable.
I thought recursion was like when you have a for inside of a for.
Yeah.
So you can have,
or you have a function.
You have fors.
We don't have
okay. Understand. Okay.
One other question. There was some time where the ICOs were very common to do it or to think about doing it in waves.
ICO?
It's ICOs.
Yeah.
So it's developed by right, or why it was more simpler to do ICOs with waves, and why you think it?
Okay, so it was supposed to be later, but I will show you how. That's not a problem. I will show you. So you have seen this client. If you want to do an ICO and create your own tokens.
Like we can do like Crypto Plaza token today, like right now.
Right in 30 seconds. Create token.
Do it, Crypto Plaza.
Crypto Plaza token. Like made in 30 seconds. Okay. So then we choose like how many tokens do we need, for example.
How many tokens do you want?
I want to send 10 tokens to each of you. So let it be 100 tokens, and then I choose reachable or not reachable. So can I add tokens to the supply or not? I make it reachable. So if someone new come, I will bring tokens for him. So then I choose the decimals. Like, see, it's already generated basically. I just decimals 0. I understand, blah blah blah, generate.
So there's one way to actually create the thing. So you actually have
there's
to
a
have,
commission is
That's why you're easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I assume that later you have to manage these tokens, so you will have to create more or less.
Yes.
No? Or then to add more.
For this we have a dashboard, I think. dashboard is all of my tokens listed. Portfolio. Here are all of my tokens, and I can manage them. And I guess if it's mine token, I have like an option page here.
Okay.
We have, for example, token rating. We have many tools for ICO, but for example, one of them is a token rating. I forgot the link to it. Okay, token rating Price Explorer is here. And all of the tokens are directly listed here. And for example, here's a rate. So I can, for example, rate any other token, like I've used it, it's okay, or the price is growing, it's very good. Give a grade to this token, and its rating is growing up, and it's listed in this top 20, for example. So this is just one of the tools that you can use for your ICO. This is more about finances and DeFi, so it will be later. But the answer to your question was yes. ICOs and on Waze are really easy.
So you don't use RIDE or other
No, smart
You don't need to.
Because if imagine that you want to have a token that has different kind of tokens that have to be, I don't know, you don't permit to solve.
Yes, that's why.
That's
why we have smart assets. If I enable smart script, I insert RIDE here, and it became smart token. But if I just want to have a cryptocurrency, I issue non-smart token. Thank you for your question. Okay, will it be interesting for you to see a coding session? Not. It will be like 5 minutes of coding, and we will create a certificate example. I will explain the mission of this project. So, for example, in our workshop we have 10 people, and all of you spend 2 hours to get some knowledges and like become more professional and experienced. So as soon as we have a certificate that I will send to you that yes, you have passed this workshop, you're more qualified right now. But so you spend 2 hours to get this certificate. But there are 2 people that just printed it in Photoshop and had to see. So it's a real problem, right? Even it's a problem when when you buy this ticket. So you spend $100 to buy the ticket to this workshop, came, get the certificate, and these guys still just printed it.
No, we can do that kind of certificate for workshops in
$100, yeah, will be great.
No, but this is
So,
fun.
But this example, in this case, the organizer
Loses money.
Yeah. So it's a real business case, how to avoid this risk. Let's start certificates in blockchain. So if the organizer not just printed this certificate, if the organizer stores it on blockchain, then you cannot just print it in Photoshop, because anyone can go to blockchain and see that this certificate is not stored there. Yes, and the more great example is like university. You pay $100,000 for 3 years of study, and someone can just add 3 Photoshop copy.
And it's been 2 years also for doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm studying currently, so the 4th year, so I'm losing much time.
In that case, if I want to be a certificate processor or certificate company, what I have to do? I have to create a token, or I have to, how is it?
So you just use a simple tool called Certificado that we'll create right now. So now we will create a decentralized application, allowing you as a university storing certificates in blockchain, and anyone else verifies them. Let me start. I have already a form, simple form like store certificado in blockchain, for example, Emily is in workshop, and I want to add information that Emily was in workshop. I just create the certificate number 2 is for Emily, and send, and it's added to blockchain. That's the goal. Let's just add this functionality. if you know what's in HTML, this it is. This is just a language for creating interface. Who knows HTML usually? Okay.
But anyway, you need to have some previous to create the certificate, no?
Yes, I will show. So we will use a Wastekeeper for it. So now we have only an interface. It doesn't fork. So I just put it that nothing happens. Oh shit. So yes, what actually we need to add? We need to add a send data function. It's a script in JavaScript. If you know JavaScript, it will be simple for you. Just function send data. If you don't know JavaScript, just you can see how we don't need many lines of code. We just create 10 lines and it's connected to blockchain. Okay, send data, and we want to get data from this form and send it to blockchain. Actually, I have a template here. Let me copy it. I will explain each line, but it will be faster.
So that's why you said 5 minutes.
But actually, to write this code, you don't need more than 5 minutes. Well, we have a simple function called queue. It's like a shortcut for getting information about this form. What's happening? We get the text, the first line. We get the text inserted here. Then we get the lines, so you can, for example, do like this, and both of them will be added to the list using this function, standard JavaScript. Then we get the structured data, where we have for each line we have a number and name, and then we create a transaction, TX transaction, with information type 12 means data transaction. We have 16 types of transaction and waves. 12 means data transaction. Data is actually this one, and we just pay a fee, small commission. Okay. After that, we call Wastekeeper, this stuff, and send this transaction to blockchain.
Wastekeeper keeps the interface with Web3?
Yes.
More or less the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Wastekeeper is MetaMask.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand what's the difference between, from high level, your solution and hashing, for example, a certificate and storing the hash on the Ethereum blockchain.
It's the same. It's just like example based.
Okay.
Let's run it. Okay.
Very cheaper, no?
Sorry.
Cheaper, probably.
Cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper. It's less expensive.
Ethereum would be a lot more decentralized.
I do not agree with this centralization. Let's run it. Okay, let's discuss. So I want to add Sasha Ivanov account. For this, I activate my keeper. Choose testnet, and for example, let's use this, not this account. Let's use this account. My name, it will be not my name, it will be like certificate. Send. Voila. And this is a Wastekeeper window where you can approve this transaction, and it's sent to the blockchain. Okay, it's sent to the blockchain, but how we can get it? For this, we need an account address. You remember what's address?
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you. Then we go to Waves Explorer that allows us read the blockchain. Here we choose testnet because we're still in testnet. Insert the account address and get some. This is an account page, and here we have data. So, and because Waves Explorer is open source and works directly to the blockchain, this guarantees us that this diploma, this certificate,
it would be possible to have like a function like alumni of
alumni.
all the
alumni.
people who have certificate from that university. Or you will have this kind of search.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
the ways you can work with this product. Yes. So if you add new diplomas like Emily and Vladimir, you can just approve new transaction with two values. Approve, and it will appear here. The idea is that, for example, Crypto Plaza says on its official web page that this address is our. You can go to Basic Core and see that these diplomas are
How many
original.
Can you refresh?
Yeah, sure.
You have all diplomas there. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like officially a Crypto Plaza.
And so this is in one address. You have tokens or you have data. You have data on this address.
So address can be used for both.
For data, for tokens.
So we have just different types of transactions. Here we have a data transaction, number 12. For example, for transfer transaction, you can use number 4 and just.
This is like the address for the certificates.
Yes, I decided this address will be used for certificates.
Okay.
No, yes. I will just show that we can learn more about this. For example, here is a transactions page. These are my transactions, 1, 2. This one was when I added Sasha Ivanov. This is great because you see that Sasha Ivanov certificates was added in this time.
Yeah.
So Sasha Ivanov cannot say, hey, I passed this course 3 days ago. You see that
In Spain, it's very big kind of things.
I was about to say that.
We have a lot of people who really have some problem with that.
Times.
Time it's
Yeah, the timestamp exactly.
Universidad Juan Carlos I.
Yeah.
Because
It's like, oh yeah, it's like I have a university.
and in this, here we see that Vladimir and Emily passed this course this time. Easy. All of the transactions are listed here. So this account we see that was also used for asset transferring before. That because I didn't create the new one, I used my previous. I don't remember why I use it. Doesn't matter. Well, you could agree that it's not secure to store this data like so open. For example, Vladimir would not like his name to be stored like Vladimir. That's why we need hash functions. We can store not the name but hash of the name. Who knows what hash is actually? Hash.
And you can do a proof zero knowledge proof, no?
Zero knowledge proof
About knowing that someone have the certificate, but
without showing the
Without knowing.
certificate.
it's one of the ways, but it's too difficult for this case.
Yeah.
We have much simpler one. Did you have a question? Sorry.
I was wondering, if you store the data online,
Uh-huh.
you need to incentivize the, well, by the way, do you have only nodes or you have nodes and validators?
So mining, we have mining nodes.
Because you're on proof of stake, right?
Yes, we have proof of stake. Yes, I really had to give information about nodes before, but yes, we have mining nodes.
Yeah.
It's the same as validator. So 300 nodes are validated.
So they validate the transactions.
Yes.
So in that very example, you are showing something where you bring more information, such as data storage.
Mm-hmm.
That implies also to have some computational power, but also some hard disk.
the
Our-
data storage.
Data
Yes.
storage, right?
Yes.
So the validators are also incentivized on the data they are storing on the machine.
Yes, sure, they're validated.
So it's a combination of data and transactions.
Yes. This is just a transaction with data field like this. So this is simple transaction.
Okay.
The thing is,
Data is stored in transaction. It's not two different ways.
All right, understood. And how big is that?
The blockchain
blockchain
is 30 gigabytes right now.
30.
Something. But now we are working on scalability. So sidechain, sharding, these clever words. But now 30 gigabytes is okay.
Okay.
Let me continue about hash. I will just demonstrate you what's hash. We have this is a console just to work directly with JavaScript. Here I have a function called like this. Oh, I don't have this function. I need to import it from this library, and I will have it. Let me just show you what it's doing. For example, I want to save the name Vladimir to blockchain. I do not just add Vladimir, I run this function. This is how we can run functions in programming and get this line. Looks ugly, but it's
beautiful.
It's beautiful. I love it. This is an algorithm that hashes your data. So, for example, if I run this function for Vladimir, I get another value. But if you run Vladimir again, the same. So if I put this value to blockchain, no one can guess that it's Vladimir. But if this value is stored in blockchain, I can always validate that it's Vladimir running this function. Let me show you how it can be implemented to our case. I will just add the functionality that we do not store the name, we store the hash of the name in the blockchain. Simple. Oopsie. Yes, okay. The certificate number 4. Who wants this certificate of number 4?
Manuel.
Okay, Emmanuel.
No, it's Manuel, but Emmanuel is...
More poetic.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're on blockchain. Okay, as always. You can already see that here value is like this. That's the beginning of hash. Approve. Now go to Waves Explorer. Data. Here it is. Certificate number 4, ugly string. But if Manuel says to me, hey, I have passed this course, and I do not believe him, he can just show me that for this string, number 4 is like this. I see the string, go to the Waves Explorer, say, wow, yes. So just Manuel knows that this string means Manuel. Okay. Some questions about this? So of course it's a little bit difficult to work like this with verifications. That's why we need another page. Check. I will show it to you. It's already done in 1 minute. Here I can verify that, so it's just the same as I done before, like for Manuel hash, I can just check that it's stored in blockchain. The only thing that I need to change in this code is to actualize the address of our dApp. Remember, this is our address of account, right? See, it's here, and change it here. Check the certificate. Okay, now I search for Manuel, check certificado. Certificado exists. If Emily says that her certificado is number 4, certificado does not exist.
It's a bit like zero knowledge proof. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's much more easier.
Yeah, I understand.
We are now working on stamps. You know stamps?
Yeah.
Stamps.
Zero knowledge, you can say that you have the certificate, but without giving any information.
Yeah, that's why
It's even a step more.
All right.
But it's cool and simple and shows the advantages of blockchain technology. What's happening here basically, we have a function check data, where we can just we get data from blockchain using XHR request, if you know XHR request, and then we check here if the data in blockchain is equal to hash of the inserted value. Okay, the simple dApp built on Waves. This doesn't use smart contracts, just simple API requests. Okay, this was all about dApps on blockchain, and now we go to decentralized finances. Maybe we can finish with some questions about this, about dApps. Yes.
later we are going to talk about smart contracts.
So because it's smart contracts are a bit complicated, so I haven't included in this presentation.
Okay.
If you are interested in smart contracts, are you interested?
Yeah.
Only a few questions.
I can show you an example of smart contracts.
How to upload?
Yes. We have online ID. Okay, great question. I will just cover it in 2 minutes. We have an ID where you can create smart contracts. It's designed by Waves team. I will show you the example. Here is a wallet smart contract. The ID is, I have it launched on the server. This is an example of the app that uses smart contracts. Okay, the idea is that I have Waves on my balance. It's here. I have 6 Waves right now, and I want to lock my balance somewhere in blockchain. So like in bank, I go to bank, put my money into the balance, and cannot use it, but it's working somehow. Here is a smart contract. I can deposit 1 Wave, for example, to this address. I will show it later. There is a smart contract in this address. Deposit. I invoke the script, and now when I reload the page, there will be just 5 waves. There will be just 5 waves. Come on. Maybe it's wrong. Let me do it one more time. Yeah. Deposit. Approve. Here is a transaction, by the way. But it's gone. Yes, okay, so...
What, you guys didn't steal it yet?
Two times, yeah, lost it 2 times. That's why transaction is added every 5 seconds. So probably I didn't wait 5 seconds. Okay, now how can I check that my waves are not stolen? They hold. I use this account address. This is the app account. I find it in the Waves Explorer, as usual. Open data and see that my address of user is like this. Yes, and it's here. And I see that my actual balance is like this. My actual balance in the bank. So my bank balance is this. And on my wallet, I have 4 ways. Now, I can ask bank to give me money back. Because it's my money. I just put withdraw 2 waves, run the script. You see that this is another type of transaction, script invocation. Previous, we have a data transaction, now it's script invocation. Okay, and now I can wait, my transaction is gone. Opa, 6 minutes. How does it work? We have the app account, it's here. Here is all the actual information about balances in bank. You see it's renewed. And here's a script, smart contract. Actually, it's easy. We have here a button decompile, and it's a code. I will do it simply. There are 2 functions that we can call deposit and withdraw using this button. Deposit means that I put money from my wallet to the bank, and withdraw that I do it back. Here is a smart contract. And why do we need smart contracts? Because we need to decide my balance on chain, in blockchain. That's why we need smart contracts at all. So they are stored in blockchain and run inside the blockchain. Probably it will be better to ask questions about smart contracts if you're interested after workshop, okay? Because it's more programming stuff. But this is the answer.
Okay. It's right language.
Right. Yes, this is right. Our programming language. You see that it's not so difficult.
Similar to Scala, or?
It looks, yes. It looks
okay.
Because our development team is Scala developers.
Mm-hmm.
Easier for us.
Okay.
This is source code. You see that it's highlighted, it's easy to code for your developers. So just create one context and write. That's all about the apps, right? Or you have any questions? Because the next part will be finance.
How to deploy, how much cost to deploy the...
Great questions. Here is a button. Here is a button deploy.
Okay.
When you put deploy, you just add sign, and here is transaction type 13. This is a set script transaction. So everything is based on transactions. Set script transactions means that this account, sender public key, deploys the script to his account. For example, so you see that script in this account we have script, yes, but in any other account, for example, this one, there is no script, because he didn't press this button deploy.
The cost?
Cost is here. It's 0.01 ways, 1 cent.
But it not depends on the code you deploy.
No, because we have a complexity counting.
Okay, you have a limit.
But it's a huge limit, so we didn't have applications that reach this limit. And once again, because there are no cycles, no recursions, its complexity is predictable, and it's counted here. Okay.
And you can update the code?
Yes, exactly. Here, deploy one more time.
Okay. But this is like you cannot be sure that one smart contract.
Great, I like your questions. Yes, exactly. If you use smart contracts, you would like to be sure that it won't be changed. So if I deposit money to the bank, I would like to know that this bank will not change the rules and don't give me money back. That's why we have a small verify function, false. So fun verifier equal to false.
Cannot be updated.
Yes, cannot be updated. By default, it's true. A little bit more difficult, but true. It means that it can be updated. You can make this why do we need a full function? Because you can set, for example, verify that this function can send transfer transaction, but cannot send invoke script transaction. This is why we need verify function. So, but false means that this account cannot send any type of transactions. Okay, more questions about write later. Okay. The idea is that if we have a verify function, you can say that this account cannot change its script. Okay, now about earning money with platform, decentralized finances. Yeah, that's the most interesting part. Staking. In many blockchains that works proof of stake. That means that have different nodes all over the world. By the way, we have an interactive map that shows all the nodes located in the world.
What do you think about proof of stake and proof of work?
Discussive topic. I think the future is proof of stake. Yeah. We can discuss it later. We have at least proof of stake. That means that if you run the node, by the way, how is node run? Can be run.
Permissionless, no? The node.
Sorry?
It's permissionless. You can
create
a node without any kind of...
You can create a node running this line in console. So it's really easy. Just install online, it not creates, not is created, and it starts in mining, and making a profit.
In a laptop, or it's
great question. Our developers run it on smartphone.
Yeah. Wow, but
Here
they don't have
is
the data. They don't have all the data of the chain. No?
Why?
30
gigabytes.
On some smartphones, yeah.
So it works SD card. That's no problem. Well,
It's a lot of data though on your phone, so forget pictures and videos.
I'm waiting till my mic is loaded. Let me continue.
Is there any Windows installed? Because sometimes Windows is installed for node. Do you have any kind of installing Windows? Windows.
You can use
any
nodes into
operation
Windows.
system. Yes, we have different nodes for many operation systems.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
I know.
So installing Windows right now.
So this is
The thing is, you have an issue started to start a node in Windows.
You can use with no, Docker.
Yes, okay, Docker is
It's Docker.
Docker is working everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
If you want to launch an
it's
app,
Docker.
run node waves. There's an article how to install a node.
Okay.
So for macOS, Windows, Ubuntu, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
And one of the ways, the simple way, is to use Docker.
We will start this today.
Okay.
How many tokens do you have to have?
1,000, right?
You have to, I will go to this, okay? This is the map of Waves map right now. We have nodes all over the world, even in China.
Can you upgrade?
Yeah, we have somewhere.
They are not in Madrid.
In Madrid, yeah.
Okay. So there we have one in Madrid only?
Yeah.
Only.
And where is
Spain.
Where is based?
Where is it?
I want to know if
Come visit. You can visit them.
We could actually tell where they're located.
No, pero
Too far, right?
Oh
debe
my
ser
God.
en Apple.
What's it?
Where is that?
Wow.
El Apple
Is it SMS Square?
Yeah.
It's important because I want to know if it support Real Madrid or Atletico.
We need to know Atletico and Real Madrid. And Barcelona, El Clásico.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, right now,
we do the second.
Yeah.
Plaza.
Definitely.
there are
Today we
active nodes. There are almost 400 nodes, you see, and you can see information about all of them. And we also have statistics in this beautiful website.
you don't have the node all the time running, or
The node is running permanently.
it's a requirement. No?
I'm not sure it's a requirement, but you know what happens actually is each node has a balance. You see on this website. For example, these are top 5 nodes. They have, for example, generating balance like 7 million.
I don't know if we have the same kind.
You will. I will explain how you can do it. And its share is like 14% of all generating balance, and the probability that they will get a chance to mine the next block is 14%. So it's like random, but with the probability
Higher than.
Yes,
Yeah.
and how it happens? So you have a node, and each minute, well, not each minute, but the request can be sent to this node like, hey, mine this block. And if your node is off, you will just lose your chance.
There are some kind of pools in Waves, no? You don't have pools. Taking pools.
Team of nodes or team of
We have a
computers.
leasing page. I will show it later. I think it's almost the same. Okay, so more about this. You can count that, for example, using this percentage, this block had to mine 200 blocks today.
Okay.
This is today. Yes, we can, and in real life it mined 207. It's like a random, so it's a share. Yes, this is the list of the nodes, and if you want to earn money on mining, you don't even have to run your own node. We have a leasing. So this means, for example, 36 node, one of the biggest one. So 5 million balance is not owned by one person. It's like crowdfunding. Here, it's a pool. But it's called leasing. Leasing.
Leasing pool.
Leasing pool.
Because you lend the...
Yeah, you're lending
Yeah.
your.
So these guys have 5 million balance, and me as a user, so I have a slide for this. Here's a miner that launches the node, and lizards that are not even programmers. Running node is not so hard, but they don't have laptop. Okay, they just want to earn money. So even the babies,
Even a cat. No?
even a cat, even a hamster.
Your pet,
Does your
yeah.
hamster has node? They want to earn money. And for example, 36 gives the ability to lease money. So it means send money to him, and he will add your money to his generating balance and start mining.
And you will do 51% attack.
In proof of stake, 51% attack is not actual.
I thought you could do like if you had 51% of the tokens, you could.
You could try.
And they send you the mining profit, or they
Yes.
or you have a kind of a share of the pool.
Yes. How it works? If you have a big generating balance, first of all, you have a big share of mining blocks. You earn more, and second, you have a big weight in like political weight because you have a governance on blockchain. So as much money on your balance you have, as much powerful you have. For example, nowadays we have block reward. For each block, yes, you have. So in each block there are transactions. In each transaction there are like commissions like this. They go to miner that mines this block.
And the fees and the mining.
Yes, but
what percent of the fees and the mining is right now?
Percent of the fees? I mean,
how much of the
yes.
revenue is?
We have implemented new feature called block reward that added permanently 6 waves to each block. Before that, the interest rate was less than 1% per year. So it means without this, the miners, if you have 10, if you have 1,000 waves on your balance, you will earn 10 waves per year.
Okay. And about this mining, do you have a hard cap, or is this mining revenue will come from creating more
waves.
Right. So there is some hard cap in terms of the token that can be created. Like, so there is these
6 waves are just printed each time the new block is generated.
Yeah, and there are new waves that are generated. So in the total waves that are
the total supply of waves is growing. Yeah.
And they have some limit.
No.
So it's unlimited.
Yes. But there's a governance, and if you just think that it's a stupid idea to print new waves, you can say, hey, let's just delete this feature, and you add this feature to add your proposal to protocol, and there's a governance that decides
about it how in some way.
Yes, maybe. So, and if you have a big share, you can say, hey, let's delete this feature, and everyone votes. Each node is voted.
You can modify the mining version.
Yes, or you can delete it.
Well, there is a problem there, I think, because if the more weight you have in voting, the more probabilities is to win a transaction.
To win a chance to mine a block.
You have no incentive to down the 6 waves. You have.
Yes, but if you're against this emission, so actually this is a mission, right? You bring new waves, this is a mission. If you're like a conservative and you say, hey, we don't need a mission, you will vote for 0 waves. So there are just different approaches.
I think this is possible because you are really diluting the stakeholders in some way. So when you're issuing money, you are devaluing. You have the money have less value because as you are creating more.
Exactly.
A trade-off between incentivizing the network between the value that you accrue in the.
Let me show you how can I list this money. So again, about making profit in waves. Okay, in a waves exchange, in waves DEX, this is fine. We have a button leasing.
Leasing is integrated. Okay.
Yes. I have my balance. It's test balance, but doesn't matter. Start lease.
But it's more cool to have a node.
Let me create it's mainnet. It's mainnet. Okay.
What is the minimum
for leasing?
For node?
For node, 1,000 base.
1,000 base is right now.
It's $800 right now. So if I want to start earning this base, I just choose, for example, 36 because they have 100% payout. So if their generating balance is $1,000, I give them 1,000 more. That means 50% of their revenue comes to me. I choose them. I copy their address. Go to Waves DEX, start leasing, recipient, and I give them 1 Waves.
Greedy.
Didn't confirm the request using the skipper. Okay, this is why. This is because I need my keeper to be activated in my net, I think. Retry. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this is my net
Yeah.
account, so there are 20 ways. Please steal it. Actually, there's just an address, and as you remember, address is public information. To steal my money, you need my private key, not public, private key, or seed. And seed is stored. Seed is stored here,
Yeah.
so you can see. Okay, start listening.
No, it's not $1. One way it's about $1.
Sorry.
It's approaching to $1.
Yeah. So here I see that it's my transaction. I put send. Right? Transactions on the way. I have at least one ways. Well, I see the information that this is my transaction. I can go to Explorer and find my transaction here. Okay, here's information that I started leasing to these guys. Now this is completed, and I see that I started leasing one ways. What will happen after that? The balance will grow up. Probably it's already grown. And for each block, see today they generated like 13 days profit. Or not today, I'm not sure, maybe it's last hour. Okay, so the idea is that they distribute this profit between all users. There's a specific tool for them.
50% of the profit, you said, right? In this case.
No. If they had 1,000 base on the balance, and I list 1,000 for them, it means so now they have a very huge balance, and I list only one wave. This is less than 0.00001. So I will get, I don't know, 0.0001 waves for it. But I will get it. And my interest rate will be 7% per year.
How do you get your wave back?
Yeah, that's a good question. Here is cancel listing. And there is another type of transaction. I just sign it, and I will get back as sent. The idea is that leasing doesn't really send your waves to this team. It just lease it. So you give a power of your balance to them.
So they can't.
They cannot just withdraw it. Yes, they use the power, but they don't have access to money. That's like leasing. And we have leasing proof of stake. That's like our feature, base feature. Your money is always safe. So even if traders's are cool guys, it's trustless. Just give them power, but don't give money. Okay. So the first financial feature of base is taking. If I have a big balance, I can earn interest rate, leasing to someone, or running my own node. And about you guys, if you run your node using 1,000 base, you can say to your community, hey, lease to us. Okay. And they lease this money to you, and you have 1 million base in balance.
But we don't have the infrastructure to divide us, have to unleash
We have
they have to send us, and we will send to them, but we don't have any kind of
tools
to do it.
There are many tools in base for
doing that kind of.
yes. 1 week ago there was so the new tool was designed by team member of the base team member. It's like automatic payouts. Okay. So for example, each day the revenue is distributed automatically. Okay, that's all about staking. Let me go to exchange. Okay, trading. The most interesting part, it was the first feature implemented to Waves, exchange. Emily showed it to you already. Here we have different pairs. See, all cryptocurrencies are here. Liquid. What is liquid? Liquid is Waves-powered cryptocurrency. Most interesting. So I can choose a pair, for example, Waves to BTC, see how it's changed, and create my own order. For example, I wanna buy BTC. I say that I'm ready to buy it for this amount of waves. No, it's back. I wanna buy waves, and one wave costs like this. I say that I wanna buy. Okay, let's sell. And I sell one wave for this amount of BTC. Sell waves. There will be another transaction type. You see, there is always a transaction that's stored in blockchain, and you can see the transparency. And here I have my order, my open orders probably, yes. And here's my order that I wanna sell waves to buy BTC. And here's a stack.
BTC now, BTC.
Order book. Huh?
BTC.
WBTC, yes. But it's like almost the same. Here is the order book. I see that here are the sell requests and buy requests. And if they matches, there is a centralized match count, the deal is done. This is about decentralized trading. Why is it decentralized? Because all of my orders are stored in blockchain. You saw the transaction. You see the transaction. Let's go to my Explorer. Which account am I actually using? Probably this. Transactions, exchange. So, and I can see all the information about this exchange. That's why it's decentralized. So, if you're interested in trading, you can use this software to do it.
So now, can you withdraw your BTC to a BTC wallet?
Yes, there's the gateway. So you see, I have no open orders. That means that it's complete. My order history, here it is, yeah. And we see that its status 100%. It's closed.
It's done.
It's done, yes. And then I go to a wallet, wallet portfolio, and see that here's my BTC. I bought for my base. This is a gateway. That means that I can always send it to Bitcoin network. Okay, you have any question about this?
A way to withdraw
Bitcoin?
USD?
USD?
Yeah, fiat money.
Yes.
USD and Euro.
We have almost, we have even a Turkish lira.
Yeah.
We have 5 minutes. I have so many tools.
Well, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we have fiat money, and if you know what stablecoin, we have even a stablecoins algorithm. Okay, so that's about the last exchange. We have this exchange is peer-to-peer. So I create an order, someone else create an order, we match, and the money is exchanged. In Wales, there is also a peer-to-dApp exchange. It's called Waveflow.
Peer-to-dApp?
Peer-to-dApp, yes.
Okay.
It's like, I just want to buy Bitcoin. I use Waveflow project. It's launched just a month ago. It's really young. Here is a smart contract. You know Uniswap in Ethereum? It's it. There is a Bitcoin locked in smart contract. I can see the details. This is a smart contract with information about what's locked there and 500 waves on it. Using this interface, I can exchange it. There is a formula. Here it is. Like how much waves do I get for a Bitcoin? It's really working. We don't have time to show you, but it's working. And the idea is that it's not connected to DEX. There are 2 different tools. And that makes a real arbitrage opportunity. You know, I can buy Bitcoin cheaper here and resell it on Waves exchange. This is Uniswap tool.
Uniswap tool? Ah, okay, that's amazing.
That's
You can put the pool. The pool is you can add the pool liquidity, no?
Pool?
Yes, pool shop have pools, and you can add liquidity to the pools.
Yeah. I don't have it here.
No, so who puts the pool here?
Okay, so you can create a new exchange. The very important idea is that here we can exchange anything to anything. So as I know, in Uniswap and Ethereum, there is always something between Ethereum.
Those liquidity pools. You have to
So who create the liquidity pools? And
so for example, I have, you can set the commission here. You see here is commission 90%. So I'm interested in creating a pool. Yeah, that's how it works. I create a new exchange pair and set that the commission is 1% and earn money like this.
Okay, but the thing is, so you have here a platform to create pools.
Yes.
Okay. The pools are global, or have they one pool that can people add liquidity, or they are every pool for every user that wants to create a pool.
I'm not sure about this. I haven't created exchanges, but so I'm not sure about this. But you can create new exchange and create your own pool. Okay.
But you are not share pools with others.
Yes.
And you know there's only one pool for each.
Okay.
So you cannot liquidity to this pool. There is a pool revenue.
I don't know details. I just know that you can exchange.
But doesn't mean I will.
You will
because this kind of quotes are for what pools? Because I don't know if there are 3 people that add weights to BTC pools. What is the price that is shown in
the price is algorithmically.
Yeah, but what is the pool? Who owns the pool that is giving this price?
The guy who created new exchange.
You
can create new exchange there.
They create another BTC with pools. They will show.
We can try it if you want. Create new exchange. Ways to BTC. Why just liquid? I don't know. Okay, we don't have time, so we'll do it later. Okay.
That's amazing. I love Uniswap.
No, we can test it with you. I would like to share a nice arbitrage opportunity with you. You know what's arbitrage? You buy and sell. So here, for example, you can buy BTC for this amount of waves, and in Waves DEX, it costed like this. So you see, you can buy BTC here, and then sell it on DEX. I created even a bot in Python. Would like to share it with you that finds these arbitrage opportunities and.
Okay, and about
does it automatically?
Sorry.
You created something that buys in the shop and then it sells automatically?
Yes.
Like a bot?
Yes. You can just run.
How I can get my order more fast than other orders? It depends on the fee.
In exchange?
If I'm going to compete in arbitrage competition, the important thing is how my order is first.
You mean in DEX or in
the Uniswap?
In this one, it's always instant.
Instant?
Yes, it's instant.
So it depends on the time I read the price and I order the price.
Yeah.
Order the order.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there is a dApp, also smart contract. We have seen this right? We have seen the right programming language, right? Here is a smart contract for this Uniswap.
I will ask you later.
So actually, and use my arbitrage opportunity. So this exchange is open source. Here is a smart contract. It's working instantly. So this is another tool about DeFi. Okay, Uniswap. Next one, we're going fast. There is a Lombardini tool. This is created.
Is a compound tool or
compound?
Compound.
Lombardini.
Compound finance. Okay.
Later, thank you. So here is a bot that trades between. Yes, arbitrage. Okay, let's go to Lombardini. The idea is that if I have waves in my balance, and I really need Bitcoin right now, but don't wanna sell waves, I can take a loan to borrow money.
It's compound.
It's compound. Okay. So what I can do is just use this interface. There is also a contract. You see it. It's a difficult contract. Yes.
Oh.
You see this? And that's how we do force.
That's fanatical.
There is macros.
Yeah.
That does it for you. Yeah. So it doesn't. It isn't copy paste. But the code is huge. And what's done? What's doing? I deposit, for example, 1 waves and get instantly this amount of Bitcoin. But when I return the Bitcoin back, when I give the Bitcoin back, I get my deposit back. Let's do it.
What is the collateral? What is the percent of the collateral that you have to have?
Here it is. Here is all the information like interest rate.
Not the collateral, because probably you put your you put here your waves, and probably they will give you not all the money
Minus interest rate, I think. Here's an interest rate.
Yeah, but then this is the rate in order to loan. But the other thing is how much you can request, and it depends on the collateral.
Let's try it. Let's try it. So just sign as a skipper again.
Can you
get the loan? Yes. So I just want to see how much Bitcoin do I have right now. I have this amount of Bitcoin, and let's borrow, get loan.
Can you request in DAI or in dollar? Something similar to
now there is only this pair.
only this page?
Yeah, but it's like the beginning of the project.
Is it not to understand if you are not you put 1,000 waves, if you get 1,000 in Bitcoin, probably not.
There's just not enough Bitcoin locked in smart contracts, so you cannot use this.
But the thing is the collateral and the margin, because if you don't imagine you don't pay or you don't return, and the waves price goes
and everything is broken.
Yeah, so you have to have a collateral in order to do a margin call.
But here, look, expiring in 6 hours, so maybe they don't have any margin at all.
No, they have to have for sure.
But for 6 hours, I think it's very short, so maybe it's not 50%.
All will expire, yeah.
No,
I don't think why does it work. Why does it work? Deposit. I deposit 1 wave. Come on.
can you how much waves is with Bitcoin on one Bitcoin in the other side? No.
In other side, okay.
One Bitcoin. This is one Bitcoin that is right now 11,000. Well, how much is this
in dollars?
waves in dollars?
It's like about 30,000.
Can you see? No, it's in dollars.
You can't see it.
But it's about $13,000.
Yeah.
They don't show it.
I have to see.
I'm trying to. Huh? Who's getting straight?
We have another.
We have another conference.
Yeah.
Okay. I had the last DeFi feature for you, and this is stablecoin. If you're interested about stablecoin, maybe after.
I know.
We have like it's we have different algorithm, not as a MakerDAO. It's also algorithmic trading.
Algorithmic stablecoin.
Yes, exactly. Here.
You're saying that it's not the same that.
It's not the same. Come on.
It's really interesting thing. I have to write out that.
Yeah.
I forgot the link. Here it is. The idea is that my net. Here. So stablecoin means that there is a cryptocurrency that always is equal to dollar, always, and it's doing automatically. So. Okay, using this dashboard, you can earn money on it by buying bonds. So if, for example, waves falls, and this means that we need more waves to be stored in this smart contract, you can buy bonds and so add new equity in waves to the smart contract. That makes the stablecoin work. So using this dashboard, you can earn money on it, buying and selling bonds. Okay, just let me conclude. What we have about DeFi in waves. First of all, staking. earning money on leasing balance to someone or running your own node. 7% per year interest rate, trading peer-to-peer on the centralized exchange, trading with dApp using smart contracts, Uniswap. We have loans, Lamborghini, and stablecoin that could be a base for in other coins. For example, there will be now peso, Brazilian peso, built on this USD stablecoin. And blockchain at all is a very good data storage technology. Use it for building the trust application and making the world better. Thank you.